Take yourself off mute. How are we doing, gang?
Good.
All right, awesome. Good to hear from you. So let's start with some gratitude here. Got a couple different gratitudes to jump in on, and we're gonna get going and have some fun. So today I get to talk to myself, which will be really interesting. So I know Debbie Connor just thinks this is hilarious. So we're gonna see how this all works out in Patrick's little land. So, you know, the first thing I wanted to say before anything else was gratitude, you know, for Father's Day. And for our dads that are out there, our grandpas that are out there, our stepdads that are out there, the men that have influenced our lives and truly had an impact within us, not just with us, but generational. So I say thank you, thank you, thank you, and express a ton of gratitude there. The other thing I wanted to do was express some gratitude to all of you. Look at this. So in 2019, we won the Double Gold Award for Total Commissions Earned. That is what you have done. So great, great job. You're being recognized by Keller Williams International, which is awesome, and the region. So way to go, guys. That's awesome. So there's my two. And look at this. This was 2018. Look at 2019. Huh? Isn't that kind of fun? So let's see what we have for 2020 here as we tackle the second half of the year. So there's my two gratitudes. Let's hear from you. What are some gratitudes?
Can you hear me, Patrick?
I can. Hey, Chris.
Hi. Well, I've got a couple of them. I would like to say thank you to leadership team for always coaching us, coming from value. You know, I have a buy-sell situation, which I'm really excited about, and it's been a little bit rocky. The seller's very reluctant, and I've had to go back to value and go back to motivation and all the things that you guys teach us all the time. I'm using that now. And it feels really good. And I got this referral from a friend from all the contacts that I've been making, you know, during all this sleepy COVID time stuff. So just all the things that you've taught us.
Awesome. That's fantastic. All right, great one, Chris. What's another one? What's another gratitude success story? Either one.
I'll pop in.
Awesome.
I want to say that I'm grateful to kind of have been able to jump into this real estate full time within the past 2 weeks. I've waited a long time to do this and had a lot of personal stuff I had to check off. So I'm grateful to kind of be in it full time. Also grateful I had an appointment this week, and that was a really fun learning curve. I'm grateful for Debbie, all that she's teaching us, and that she's always available and at the ready to help us with any questions we might have. So, and then I kind of posted a gratitude earlier this week on our Facebook page that I just love everyone's mindset here. I love the people here. I love the growth. I mean, you guys are my gang. I love that. So thank you all for just being who you are and allowing such a great environment to thrive in.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. That was fantastic. What's one more? One more. Let's wrap it, put a bow on it. One more gratitude success story. Jump right in. Water's warm.
Hey, I'll jump in. It's Renee.
Hey, Renee. Awesome.
Hey, I am really thankful for the people that came into the MREA series that we did virtually for 6 sessions. We put a bow on it, as you say, yesterday, and just for the opportunity to present MREA, which is our model in Keller Williams, as well as the opportunity to coach the people that were a part of it. So thank you for that opportunity.
Awesome, Renee. Let's give Renee a big hand. She did this for us and really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. All right, well, let's get started. Let's jump in here. So, well, before we jump in, well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just go ahead and start with listings first, and then we'll work into our market update after that. So who has an upcoming listing? Chris does. Take it away, Chris.
So my listing is in Aurora. It's 19009 East Saratoga Place in Aurora, 80015. And it's a 2-story with a unfinished walkout basement, which is real nice to have that. And it is going to be going live either today or tomorrow for $135,000. What am I saying? $435,000.
I was like, Chris, sold, done deal. Like,
Isn't it? Yeah.
boom, there's a deal.
Can I have two?
So 435, awesome, and it's going live tomorrow, right?
Today or tomorrow.
Later tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent. Great job, Chris. That's awesome. All right, who's got another one?
I do.
Robin,
We
take it away.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, thanks, Renee.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of early because it's not going to go on for a month or so because the seller can't move till September. But I'm telling you about it in case somebody has someone. I could get them in early as long as they're okay with the late close. So it's a condo, one level or ground floor condo. It's in Aurora on Xanadu Way. That's over by Iliff and 225. It's going to be listed for $242. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-story, and she's done some updates on it. And it doesn't have a garage, but it has a carport. And it has a designated parking space in front of the unit. And the thing is, she can't, she's elderly and we don't want to get a whole bunch of people in until she's ready to move. But if somebody has somebody for $242, which is a great price over there, then I can get them in.
Awesome. Awesome, Robin. Thank you very much. So that is a great price. All right, let's keep on going. Renee, I heard you jump on.
Yes. Sorry, and I know that makeup isn't required, but clothing is, so you're just gonna go with no video right now.
We're just gonna go there right away, huh? All about culture and KW executives.
Anyway, so we have a new listing, Downing Street Brokers, in Parker. It is a ranch house. It is 3 bedrooms and 3 baths. It is going to be listed at $400,000. It has a partial basement. Just an adorable house on Sopris, Sopris. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. But I wanted to let you guys know of that. We have people coming in to get rid of stuff as an estate sale in the next 5 to 7 days that they can get it out of there. But again, wanted to let you guys know, and we'll put a sign in the yard, of course, 48 hours before we push the button on MLS to be in compliance. However, I wanted to let you guys know. So anybody, ranch house in Parker, 400,000 is what we're starting at. It's 425 easy. So we're expecting multiple offers, but wanted to let you guys know about that first. I do also just want to say we have a new live Boulder listing that is gorgeous. Just under $1,950,000. It shows up as a condo. It is not. It is a single family home. 3 properties are on 1 lot. Another one in the Highlands that is a condo. And so just to kind of pick your brain, if you have anybody in your database that is looking in those areas, let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Renee. Fantastic. Great job. Another upcoming listing. Who else has a listing? William does. He's got 2 of them. Right on, William. Take it away.
I've got a 11th floor corner unit, west facing, unobscured view condo in downtown Denver, right off of Sphere. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 800 square feet. We're looking around $260 list price. Brand new furnace. It's been in good condition. Yeah, great. I mean, you just have all mountain views and nothing. You can see the stadium, Bronco Stadium too. So for those who are missing football. And then in Parker, Clark Farms area, coming up here in just a few weeks into July. They're just finishing the new roof now, and they got a couple more rooms to paint. 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2-car garage, backs up to open and park space. We're looking at 485.
485. All right. Awesome. And when is that coming on the market?
Probably mid-July.
Mid-July. Okay, cool. Are you doing preview showings?
Yes, for both of them, we're doing preview showings.
Good deal. All right, execs, great opportunity to jump in there before it's on the market as with several of these listings, right? Which is awesome, awesome. Other upcoming listings. William, thank you very much, sir. Upcoming listings. Going once. Going twice. Boom, we're moving on. All right, let's go. Price improvements. How about some price improvements?
Okay, I'm going to jump here again.
Jump in.
I have this townhome in Broomfield, 2,300 square feet. I've been on the market today, 19 days. I've only had 4 showings and come out second a couple of times. We're lowering the price from $450 to $445. And it's just a smoking deal. The 1 2 doors down is under contract at $475. Same everything. It's just my timing is not great. So $445 in Broomfield.
Great, and good opportunity for some instant equity, it sounds like. That's fantastic. All right, thank you, Renee. Any other price improvements? Going once, going twice, 3 times, we're moving on. Buyer needs. William has them. Take it away, William.
I need a ranch, 3 bedrooms on the same level. Firestone, Frederick, up to 550. I need another ranch, 3 bedrooms, up to 7, somewhere southwest or southeast Douglas County, hopefully with a little bit of land space, a little bit of lot, not necessarily a lot. They think an acre is a lot is their definition, so an acre would be good. Somewhere, I mean, it doesn't matter. Pinery, Timbers, Franktown, Elizabeth, Parker, somewhere in there. So I need 2 ranches, 1 way up north and 1 south.
We'll find you 1 in between also, William, so that's awesome. All right, so 2 ranches there. Yes, Chris.
I have a buyer need for also a ranch up in North Denver, Thornton, Westminster, Broomfield, 425 or below, 3 beds, 2 baths, preferably finished or unfinished basement.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. All right, other buyer needs. All right. So we're at the end of the month. We're at the end of June. What are you seeing out there? What did you see during the month of June? You know, let's unpack this a little bit as we get ready to jump into July, and the 4th of July is right around the corner. So what are some things you're seeing out there right now in the market?
It was a little slow over the last weekend, Father's Day weekend.
Okay, let's talk. Was slow as far as showings wise?
Yeah. I mean, we got under contract on our condo, but we didn't get as many showings as we expected, and I think it was just because it was priced well. I think it was just timing.
Okay, awesome. So we're seeing, depending on the timing wise, maybe the showings are, is anyone else feeling that too? Where showings are down a little bit?
Don't know yet.
No? Okay. What else are you seeing? What else are you feeling? What did you notice the last 30 days?
Reluctance.
Say that again?
Reluctance.
Reluctance, okay. As far as specifically with buyers, sellers, both, what are you seeing, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, when I talk to people, kind of a general overview, I guess.
Awesome, okay. So we're seeing them reluctance. Yeah, absolutely. Kristen.
Speaking with new people that are wanting to buy, they keep saying, the end of the sentence always ends with, or any foreclosures. You know, it's like everybody thinks that things are just, the bottom's falling out.
Interesting, okay. So they're thinking that the market's gonna crash and the sky is gonna fall, right? Yet are we seeing that? No, we're not. Actually, we're not seeing that at all. That's awesome. Thank you very much. What's another one? This is great. So when you look at the last 30 days, what did you see in the marketplace? What did you notice?
We've had a lot more contracts coming into this office, except that under contract business is picking up like crazy.
Ooh, let's tie into that, Deb. So where do you think that's coming from?
People that are working.
Well, that would be a good point, right? Like, absolutely. Love that. Now, specifically, like, where do you think that the uptick in the contracts is coming from?
Well, even in the, I don't see Jackie Prayer on here, but even in that, $2 to $3 million range, those are popping again, and multiple offers, and they don't like contingencies, and you have to get really good at protecting your seller. So that if they think they're going to have a hard time finding a property, this is what Chris was going through, right? Is know the contingency clause manual and how to use it and when to use it. So once your seller feels protected, they're more willing to jump on the market. And so I've seen a lot of those coming through, and fewer contingencies,
Okay.
Compliance has been busy, average about 30 a day, looking at about 30 a day.
Good. That's fantastic. Great job, everyone. That's awesome. Thank you, Deb. So, Deb, what are you seeing on the PC side? Let's dive in there for a moment.
Well, we've got some amazing agents that are out there. Jackie Pereira, let's take her. Her very first listing, $2,850,000. Thank you very much. And
wow.
Staying persistent on a property that they want to put under contract that they lost the first time around. She stayed, like an eagle watching what was going on. The people bailed on it like a week later. And so they put an even better contract together and submitted that. So we'll see later today if that $2 million plus property goes under contract for the seller. They're jumping in and doing their lead generation. These guys are ready, man. Brooke and Ross and Lysandra, all you guys. Lysandra got another property back under contract like almost immediately. A listing that went right back under contract because she did her homework. She did it well. I'm telling you, preparation is the key. Knowing your scripts, knowing what tools you have in your bag that you can pull out, know how to use at a high level and put into place for your buyers and your sellers. How are you going to bulletproof these transactions? So, that if it's your buyer, that listing agent and that seller don't want to lose you because you're that strong, and vice versa. So
love that.
You got to know your stuff. I'm not kidding you. We have an amazing group of newer agents coming in that, Kristen has jumped in and worked with them a little bit too. And I'm telling you, you should be quaking in your boots a little bit because they're walking in here to take market share and they're going to do it.
Well, it kind of sounds like a challenge, Debbie Connor. Is that what I'm hearing?
Sure, let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Love that. Love that. Love it. That's fantastic. So,
on.
So Brooke even
I'm in.
I'm going to brag on Brooke a little bit. She went the extra mile. So she and I both have put out information looking for someone that had converted the listing consultation into Spanish. And we're getting crickets back, right? And I know somebody's done it, but crickets. So you talking about going the extra mile. She jumped in and she's fluent in Spanish, and she went through and redid the entire listing consultation presentation, and her and Electra went out, and this is a listing that they've chosen not to take because, you know, there's 2x4s holding ceilings up, so you don't want to take them all. But God love them, you know, anybody else that's not trained as well, not as savvy as these guys are, would go in and take a listing just to have their first listing instead of being brave and going, not this one, and walking away, and yet still providing value back to the seller. So she has some information so she can go get things accomplished for, you know, what she needs to do. So, but good on you, Brooke, for writing that up. And I'm telling you, we got some amazing, amazing agents in this office.
yes, we do. Yes,
Thank
we
you.
do. Well done. So I'm going to put Amber on the spot here for a moment, and I didn't pre-warn her, so I'm probably going to hear about it later. And Amber, what are you hearing from KWRI? What are you hearing that's going on across KW over the last 30 days, over the last quarter? And, whoop, I just saw comments come in.
Said she
She
doesn't,
doesn't have a microphone.
That would be a good way to respond back. So, all right, so here's what's interesting. We're seeing a lot of conversations going on around Command right now. And there's different opportunities that are happening where it's really starting to jive and really starting to move. So a big conversation that we've talked about has been using Command, using Keller Williams Command to be able to have isolated leads that tie in with Facebook. Now, here's what's neat. As we've talked about before, Facebook and Keller Williams have partnered together. Did you know that Facebook is actually studying Keller Williams and how we're using the lead accelerator, how we're using that to target business, which is completely different than just jumping onto Facebook and buying leads. So we've talked a lot about having the incredible amount of $1 a lead, right? Here's what's wild. I had a conversation, and I'm looking at bringing this gentleman in as a special guest on our Facebook, or on our team meeting here. I had a conversation with him earlier this week where he's doing leads at on average 30 cents a lead. 30 cents. This is literally unheard of. The average price per lead, when you look outside of Command, runs between $10 and $13 per lead, and that's on the lower side. 30 cents. Imagine that, right? You put in, what is it, 30 cents at 4,000 bucks, 400 bucks even. You got 1,200 leads right there. That's amazing to me. So are we taking advantage and are we keeping up with some of the technology that's going on right now? Because those who are literally taking and running right now. And it's keeping their expenses extremely low, which is amazing because in Command, you don't pay anything extra for it, unlike some other companies. So are we using that? And how could we use that? How could we use that type of platform going into July? We know the first week of July, there's kind of a holiday that is always circles around, right? Right, everyone, right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Okay, I was like, oh my gosh, we forgot about 4th of July. So there's 4th of July that's out there going on right now, and are we prepping for that? So for example, are we doing pop buys? Even if we can't go to the door, or maybe the homeowner's not comfortable with that, we can go to the end of the driveway, right? Are we setting up little flags in the neighborhoods? You can go to Walmart or go to Target or go to something to be able to do things like that. How are we approaching this holiday? Because this year, and we talk about this a lot, with all of these different pressures going on, 4th of July is truly one to be celebrated. It is every year, and this year, it is absolutely an amazing celebration around independence. So how are we using that? How are we carrying on our people, loving on our people, and being able to celebrate 4th of July, whether it's with them or it's being able to do something for them? So kind of think about that a little bit as we go into this next week. What could be your plan? Here's another question for you. What's your 30-day plan for July? We talked about this at the beginning of June, and I'm going to bring the conversation back again at the beginning of July. Fast forward to the end of the month. You had the most incredible month that you've had in the last 90 days, maybe even this year. What has to happen specifically for that to occur? Could be business, could be personal, could be the combination between the two. And we're going to talk about a book that I absolutely love in just a little bit. And I'll bring in Mr. William Kretzer on that one here to kick us off. So before I do, though, what's awesome, ladies and gentlemen, you guys rocked it in Profit Share again. So middle of COVID, middle of all kinds of social unrest going on, you're still profit sharing. The office is still profitable. Congratulations. This is awesome. So I know that I don't have anyone here, so we'll just all do 2 claps, right? So starting out with Mr. Barry Bounds. Let's give Barry 2 claps. Cindy, you rocked the house with Profit Share this month. Let's give her 2 claps. That was awesome. Great job. Debbie Connor, well done. Give Deb 2 claps. Tracy Duncan, Profit Share, congratulations, 2 claps. Mr. John Eno, he's got 4 pages here, 3 pages here. So let's give John 2 claps. Great job, John. Jamie Goldman, not sure if Jamie's tying in here today from Florida. Let's give her 2 claps. Great job. Renee Helton, we need a staple for this as well. Great job, 2 claps. William Kretzer, Kretzer Life, 2 claps. Holly Mays, 2 claps. Great job, Holly. And Mark, great job, Mark. Marcia McCorkle, Marcia, 2 claps. Great job, awesome. And Jackie Pereira, just hitting the ground running, isn't she? 2 claps for Jackie. Great job, Jackie. And Rob Tate, we got another staple on this one too. 2 claps for Rob. So my point to this is an awesome opportunity, especially right now, if you intend to grow passive income through Profit Share. What we are finding, and Deb, correct me if I'm wrong, what we're finding right now is that no matter what the production, those who are not having the level of support that they would like, or the leadership, they're starting to look around, and that's happening all around our walls right now. Some of the top teams in Highlands Ranch are looking around. So my question to you is, for those who have had transactions, whether it was this year or maybe going into the last 2 years, if you were to take a highlighter and highlight who was just an absolute rock star in your transaction and the reason why, could that be an opportunity to call them? And by doing so, you start to grow out your profit share, which is awesome. There are offices in Denver that do not have this, ladies and gentlemen. We do. We are a profitable office, and because of you. So let's celebrate that and bring others into our world, and then that way you have generational passive wealth, which is an incredible gift to have, especially in the event that there's market shifts, right? So take advantage of that. And let the leadership team, let me know, let Deb know, let Amber know how we can help you. There is a kind of method to the madness. And when you're looking at those who have been, what have we got? Robin, we had Robin. Not sure, Robin, we'll check on that. So those who have been in production, let's say they've done on an average 20 deals in a year, right? Roughly that's about 10 million in production. Here's what we know. For those who've done 20 deals in a year, which is just a little bit under 2 a month, they have influence in their surrounding markets. So by bringing them into the marketplace under your profit share tree, they actually within 18 months are known to bring in on average 4 additional agents. So it's a strategic way to grow your profit share. So check into that and let us know how we can help you. And Robin, we'll find out about that. So thanks for bringing that up on the chat. All right, let's keep on going here. One thing I really want to talk about, and Holly, I see you're on here, safety. For those who didn't see this, go onto our page. It's something that I talked about personally. Holly did a post about this Keller Williams agent, and I believe North Carolina, who was attacked at an open house.
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Where, I'm sorry?
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Thank you, Renee. So, exactly. So, here's the point, right? Your safety is so incredibly important. I talked to one of our teams about this yesterday, and if you have a team or or you're working together as a group, that could include PC, right? Do you have a safety word? Do you have a plan at an open house? Do you go through the open house and strategically look around? Not to be paranoid, it's just having a plan is incredibly powerful, especially when we're talking about your safety. I mean, goodness gracious, none of this matters if you're not safe, right? So my question would be do you have a safe word? Do you have a safety plan? Holly, do you want to jump in? I know we talked about this last year quite a bit, right?
Yeah, we did. So, we have some rules in our office that I think we need to really stress. And I know, not everybody wants to follow the rules, and it's, or suggest, maybe look at it as we make suggestions for your safety. And one of those is to never do an open house alone. You need to do an open house with somebody else. And so that you're not alone in the house. And sometimes when we've seen these, they haven't been doing it alone, but at the beginning or at the end, the partner goes and starts picking up the signs, or they're out putting out the signs or whatever. So you're alone for just that 10 minutes or whatever. And 10 minutes is plenty of time for something to happen, as we've, seen in multiple options. So please do an open house with somebody. Your vendor partners are happy to work with you, be it title, lending, or do it with another agent. And then the other thing that, we did an open carry class. I mean, not open carry, a concealed carry class. There's a gun range right over at Mineral and South Park called Triple J Armory, and we did a class there. They have a bunch of classes, and you can go do a class. You can, learn it. They have opportunities for you to rent guns, try and figure out what you want, if that's something you want to do. If you're not comfortable with that, there's got to be ways to find something, to find something you can do, be it, maybe learn Taekwondo, or, find ways to be able to protect yourself. And the name of the gun place is Triple J Armory.
Awesome.
And Mark, could you find that link and pop it in for me?
Perfect.
And so anyway, it's really good. They do a good job there. And the other thing is, if you're meeting someone, never meet them off a sign call at a house. Meet them somewhere else. And
what should they do, Holly?
They should meet them, get to know them, get copies of their driver's licenses, and take pictures of them and send them to someone. Your husband, your neighbor, somebody that you trust that knows you're out. Mark and I, so that, people are a lot less likely to do something if they know that you've got their information, that somebody's going to be watching. find out, are they pre-approved for a loan? There's no reason to take them through a house they can't buy. And right now it's against the COVID rules anyway. So you can use that as an excuse not to go through the house if they're not pre-approved, where you can get a lender letter. The other thing is, Mark and I use an app called Life 360. There's a bunch of them out there. So we can always track where each other are. And it's just on your phone, and it just tracks where you're at. You can do that with your kids, with somebody. One of my kids is also on there. So I have we have a backup plan. So just make sure that you've got, that you're doing something to protect yourself. Now, chances are really great nothing is going to happen. So you don't want to walk around scared all the time. And just, be a good Boy Scout and be prepared, or Girl Scout. And when you go to Triple J, just, you can mention my name and tell them, I sent you over there, and you're a realtor, and they know us well over there.
Perfect.
Triple J. So, yeah.
Where is that at again, Holly? Mineral and what?
It's in South Park.
Okay.
It's south. Yeah, it's just south of there.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So, Debbie Connor,
Yeah,
we're going to do an impromptu broker bites here, since
you were gonna get one anyway.
yeah, right. So let's dive into that a little bit from a broker standpoint. What can we do to be safe? What can we do to truly, and not just be safe and protect ourselves and the property? My question is this gender specific?
No. So this happens to men as well. So a while back, there was a male agent holding an open house, and a woman walked in and told him that if he didn't go and hop in the car and go empty his bank account out of the ATM machine, that he was going to get arrested for attempted rape. And that was the phone call she was going to make. So it happens. So here's the other thing. You're talking about doing open houses. You cannot do open houses right now. No way, no how at all. And I know there are agents that are out there doing it in a sneaky way, and waiting for somebody to come up and go, oh yeah, you do have an appointment, writing it down and taking them through. Well, guess what? There's some investigators that are out there checking on some of this stuff. We were just on a call with the Real Estate Commission with Marsha Waters herself, live from her basement. And the number one complaint that's coming in right now, to the tune of about 30 a day, is agents not following the COVID protocols. They're walking in with no masks, no gloves, not cleaning up after what their buyers have touched, following zero instruction. We've had that happen in some of our listings. I know I've gotten calls and emails from some of you. Ring doorbell is out there. There are sellers that video things, and they're not all telling you that they're videoing things like they should, but that's happening. And guess who's investigating each and every one of those things and acting on them immediately? Marsha Waters herself, the head of the Real Estate Commission. She's the COVID cop. And so the first time they get a warning, unless it was so egregious and they have proof, then they will start fining you immediately. You will be also turned over to the Attorney General, because this is a law, and it's like violating other law. Don't do it. If you get sign calls from somebody wanting to go see a listing, and somebody that you don't know, you should have them come into the office to meet you here. That should be your policy. When you state that to someone and you tell them our policy is, very few people will argue with the word policy or standard. And this is our policy, that you come into the office and, we're happy to show you properties, but we have a policy that, we step you through making sure that you're approved. You know, if it's, oh, well, I don't need to get approved with a lender, it's all cash. They'll find different ways to lie to you if all they're wanting to do is do harm to you. And they're better at it than you are. So get them to come into the office. Somebody that isn't serious, somebody that wants to do harm to somebody isn't going to show up at the office, most
So what
likely.
about on the weekend, sign call, and they want to see it that week, that day?
There's, use still protocol, then go somewhere public. Call another one of your agent friends, take a spouse with you, take a friend with you. And you should never put somebody into your car if they haven't gone through all these steps. We talk about that in training all the time. So their backside doesn't see the leather in your car, right? Or you don't meet them somewhere if you don't know that they're qualified to go in.
But Debbie, I have a quick question. That we had a listing over the weekend, and Mark and I, you know, we follow the policies, and we send our COVID document that we get our buyers to sign. And we found out over the weekend, yeah, right, Cindy. We found out over the weekend that we were asking for the COVID, and we weren't, you know, and it was like, well, I don't even have it, or why do I have to send that? No one else has asked for it. And we ran into a lot of pushback on that, which really surprised me. It was kind of like, I finally told this agent, you're supposed to have this signed. And by the way, if they audit you and you don't, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
Well, I mean, whether their attorney has asked them to put that into place or not is on them. But there are laws around the proper ways to show property and the proper ways to let people into a listing. And if they're not, you need to follow it. You have got to pretend like you're walking into a COVID-infested home, or you're letting COVID-infested people into your listing. And if they're not going to play, then turn them in. I even suggested to somebody that you put a sign up that says from the seller, smile, you're on video, whether they have one or they don't. Just putting that up there, right, could stop a lot of this. And, you know, smile through your mask, something. You can put something up there. And if your seller is recording things, that needs to be disclosed as well. But I would put that sign up there that says, smile through your mask. We're watching you.
Deb, there's a question that just hit the chat from Sherry.
Then you can't take the customer through. It's a law. And guess who gets fined? It's not the customer. They're going to come after you. These fines are big, and they're serious about jail time. And they're serious about maybe taking your license away from you. So don't go there. And you're working with the wrong customer. They either comply or they don't go in. You're the keeper of the lockbox. They don't go in.
So sometimes, and I know that I've seen this before, you know, and we talk about this a lot. If it's too good to be true, then,
Yep.
right? Might not be true. Same thing with safety, same thing with COVID, all of these things all the way across. You all are professional realtors, right? You're professionals. So by being professional, you get to make that choice on who you work with, who you don't work with. And sometimes it's not a match, and that's okay. But hold to your ethical standards and don't shy away from them. Whether that's from a safety standpoint or from a COVID standpoint, right? Like any of those, or maybe it has nothing to do with either one of those. But you just know that individual could be toxic to your business. If they're toxic to your business, they'll be toxic to your life. I promise you that.
Yep.
My name is Patrick. It's happened to me, right? So
there's a question about gloves and mask, and booties are a customer's call, your seller's call. But gloves they're asking yes that you provide gloves and masks. So, and they need to be removed after they leave the property. So they can't wear the same pair from house to house.
Hey, Debbie, I was gonna tag into, and it is definitely a hassle to do it, but you can turn the conversation, because we are only approving showings once we get the document, which usually means we have to make a phone call. But it's also an opportunity to establish a professional relationship with the other agent should they decide to make an offer. So you've already got that first linkage and that first call. So when they call you and say, hey, we're going to make an offer, you've already established a communication with them, which I think is a big piece of getting the deal or not, is that relationship with the other agent and how you develop win-win solutions for them.
So what document are you sending out? Because you shouldn't be asking the other people to sign anything. That's on their attorney to do.
The COVID document that they're supposed to sign when they sign the buyer's agreement?
Yes, so your clients are the ones signing these documents. We're not asking other agents, buyers to sign them.
No, but aren't they supposed to send their signed document to you, proof that they did it?
Nope.
No, okay.
Nope. Nope.
So how would you know if they did or didn't?
You don't. It's on them. It's on that agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't need to ask for that.
So Debbie, what do we do if we had a frontline worker so our listing, luckily they could buy without selling. And so they bought their home and they moved because one of the occupants, it was a respiratory therapist and works at the VA hospital with active COVID patients. So she couldn't sign any kind of release saying she wasn't around them, nor in selling the house.
Yep.
Could she say that? So we were able, they moved out before we put it on the market. But how do we handle, how do people handle that?
You just disclose it, right? You don't get sued for over disclosing. You don't get sued for disclosing, you get sued when you don't. So everything about the property, right? So now COVID changed that. If the COVID piece, you've got to talk about the COVID things. If someone has had COVID and they were in the property in the last few days, and it has to be sanitized. Those guidelines are so broad, you guys, and they're all open to some interpretation. But if they're not living there anymore and the property's been cleaned, I would still disclose so people can make a choice whether they come in or whether they don't.
Awesome. And I saw, Deb, that there was a question from Cindy. I didn't get to see the question that's in the chat.
Which one, about gloves?
I think so.
Gloves are required.
Okay. That settles that one. All right. All right. So any other questions, concerns, comments regarding this? All right. So let's keep on going here. And I know we got about 12 minutes left. So we're gonna dive in to one of my favorite books, which I want to throw a challenge out to everyone to pick up a copy of this, whether it's Audible or paperback, and dive into it in the month of July, right? Make notes in it, scribble it, do all that good stuff. William Kretzer, Kretzer Life. You have a word that's behind you. What does that word say, and why do you have it hanging?
I was gonna say, could you read it? But it looks like it's reversed. The word says grit. And it just says a noun made up of hustle, passion, and perseverance.
So why do you have that up, William? Outside of obvious reasons, what was impactful about that for you personally?
Well, right there, the perseverance part, probably more than anything. When I got started in this industry, I mean, I got down on myself often because I was busting my hump daily doing the work, but it was hard. This was the first job I've ever done where you don't see the fruits of your labor right away. But a few months into it, I started seeing things pop up. So I was starting to understand the whole perseverance part of that is like, hey, what you do today truly shows up down the road. So don't look for necessarily those rewards today, but know that they're coming, and stay consistent and stay on top of it. And it just reminds me in those times, when, like, say yesterday, I felt like I led Jen for about 4.5 hours, made tons of calls, didn't get anywhere, no referrals or nothing like that. However, I know that it's going to pay off later. And that's the perseverance part for me, for that grit, that determination to hang in there and just keep doing what needs to be done.
Awesome. Well said. Well said. So the book is called Grit, and the author is Angela Duckworth, as The Power of Passion and Perseverance. It's an incredible, incredible read. There you go, Deb. Deb has it there too. And the neat thing about this is that it's not just a real estate book, right? It's not just the industry book. What it is it's a business book altogether. It's a life book. So it's more than just being a real estate book, and it's one of the best sellers out of all business books. And right now, out of all times, is a fantastic time to be able to dive in and really gauge what is your grit. What does this look like 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out, where you can create a market all on your own, no matter what happens out there, because it starts internally and then it comes out. So one of the things around this, I wanted to share this with you and we're going to put this on the Facebook private page. So once team meeting's over, jump on there and you'll be able to do the scorecard here. And what I think is interesting here is there's actually a grit scale, and it says, how gritty are you, right? So how gritty are you? And some of the scale here, and we're going to put it online for you, but it comes up with different questions, right? New ideas and projects sometimes distract me from previous ones. And it gives a rating, not like me at all, somewhat like me, very much like me, right? Number 2, setbacks. Don't discourage me. I don't give up easily. So not like me, somewhat like me, very much like me, and it gives a scale on this. Number 3, goal setting. So I often set a goal, but later choose to pursue a different one. So, again, same rating, right? Number 4, I am a hard worker. Number 5, I have difficulty maintaining my focus on projects that take more than a few months to complete. What do we know about real estate activities specifically?
Takes lots of time.
Yeah, Holly, it does. One of the things is we know what we do today typically shows up in how many days?
90 days.
Exactly, Robin. So right now, you're actually creating your market for August and September and going into the 4th quarter. How important is grit? Because we're getting tested, ladies and gentlemen, on all sides. That's why this is such an important read for this month specifically. So, the next one here, I finish whatever I begin. Number 7, my interests change from year to year. Number 8, I am diligent. I never give up. Number 9, I have been obsessed with a certain idea or project for a short time, but later lost interest. Right? Number 10, I have to overcome setbacks to conquer an important challenge. So here's what's kind of fun about this. And again, we're going to post this, so don't worry. But it talks about what your grit score is. And it gives percentages in here. I know this will be really tough for everyone to see, so that's why we're posting it online. But it gives percentages on what is our grit score compared to the outside. So for example, if we had a 4.5 grit score, that's higher than 90% of the people out there, right? All different industries, by the way. So my question's going to be for everyone is really going to be something that we can revisit at the end of July. And that's what's so powerful about this for you, for business and for personal. What lessons can we learn out of having grit? And not just reading it, right? What activities can we implement that's going to insulate our business, insulate our lives, insulate our family through grit? Renee did an incredible class here on MREA, which is, she dove in deep to the 4 models of real estate, the foundational models. Now, if we apply grit to that, what does our world start to look like? What do you want it to look like? So there's my challenge for everyone, whether it's Audible, paperback, grab this book and dive into it in the month of July. And we're gonna pull open different segments throughout the month and talk about grit and what we can do to implement into activities so that you have an incredible business, right? No matter what's going on out there. And oh, by the way, as you have an incredible internalize, externally, your life will be dramatically different with blessings upon blessings upon blessings. It doesn't have to be all business, gang. It's got to start with personal, with family first. So how do we apply that? What are some of your thoughts? Jump on in, the water's warm. What are some of your thoughts?
I have this really big stack of books that are really awesome that I would love to be able to get to read, be it I don't have time.
Okay. So that could be Audible then, right? To put it on Audible and make notes off of that. Or if you're taking trips in your car or anything like that, put it on Audible. And that could at least keep you going here. So then that way through the month, you're still getting those ahas. What's another thought? Thank you for that. What's another one?
Reviewing your goals daily just to know where you're at, even 5 minutes just to set your day up.
Yeah, Sherry, absolutely. Absolutely. Love that. What's something else? What's one more?
Rather than, getting to Kristen's point, everybody's busy, right? So, but somebody told me a long time ago that every single day you should read 10 pages of a book. And you could even roll it back. You read 10 pages of a book every day. I forget how many books you can read in a year. It was an astronomical amount. But even 5 pages a day on something. We always think, oh, I got to read the book, and you look at the whole thing, you're like, whoa, gosh, don't have time for that. And guilty as charged, right? That's me. And I can be reading several books at once and pick and choose to read 5 pages in the morning and maybe 5 pages in the afternoon, or I'm taking a lunch break and I'm going to pick it up. Even if I don't care if you're reading a romance novel, 5 pages a day, right? You could read a good portion of books.
Absolutely.
Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change, right?
Ooh, nice job, Debbie Connor.
It's on the flag right there behind you.
Right, love it, exactly. So I'm just gonna read out some of the chapters here so you can really see why this book is so important and why we're talking about it today. So in part 1, it talks about what is grit and why it matters. Chapter 1 is showing up. Chapter 2 is distracted by talent. Chapter 3 is effort counts twice. Chapter 4 is how gritty are you, which ties in these points I was making here. Chapter 5 is grit grows. So it's compoundable. Then that leads us into part 2, which is growing grit from the inside out. So that's part of what we've talked about: interest, practice, purpose, and hope. Part 3 is growing grit from the outside in. Parenting for grit, the playing fields of grit, the culture of grit, and then it concludes And it ends with 7 questions the author gets asked about grit. Incredible, incredible read. So we're gonna dive into this over the month of July. And the goal with this is to go through it, internalize it, and then turn that into action items that you can take in your business and in your personal life. And watch what happens, because it's absolutely amazing. Because you're doing it already. You're doing it already. We're winning awards. We have profit share coming in. You're doing it. Deb was talking about how contracts are on the rise. So I am incredibly proud of each of you for what you're doing. And I get the sacrifices. I really do. So keep pushing. Keep having grit. And let's see what this month will shake out for you, because I'm excited about it. I think this is going to be one heck of a month for KW executives. So with that, I know we're out of time for today. So just wanted to conclude us here and say I greatly appreciate each and every one of you being on this call. Here's a little spoiler alert. We're going to have some high-powered guests coming on to our calls here in our team meeting in the month of July. So I would highly recommend not missing it, because it's one thing to catch up on a recording later. When you're able to engage with some of these guests, your mind will be blown away with it, and you'll be able to walk away with true value. So for those who aren't on the call today, let's reach out to them, invite them to make sure they're on team meeting here next week, and let's charge into July with our arms locked and ready to take on whatever is going to be thrown at us, because you got this. With that, have an awesome week. Love you guys. Take care.